Alright, I'm gonna try to get on top of this little weird, look like ant mounds. Looks like forest over there. I don't know if I want to go up that, or if I can even. Those are broken off. Something passed through here. And it's not a bunch of people, because this is brutal. All right, I'm still working my way back. This is a weird canyon. This is one I would suspect what the hell is that? That's weird. That's old. Huh. Alright, I gotta try to climb this right here. Okay, that was a pain in the ass. It's tight. It's a good thing I don't have to crawl. I get claustrophobia. That'd be the end of it. Oh, hell almighty. Look at that. That's cool. That's been piled up. Wow. See, these are the things that a lot of people miss when they're out running around. That's a limb, that's not a branch. And the truth is, no elk could break that off unless it laid on it. This is a really almost desolate area up on top of this. Anyway, I found some tracks, and I plan on posting them next week. I got video, and they are tracks. Fresh in the snow, no melting, powder. You can see toes. Not very big, probably a size 13, 12, not big. But what's strange is the way you could see where it was setting, and from there it started to walk away, almost like it heard me. I don't know. And then it just, the track stopped, and I thought, what the hell? And I happened to look up. Well, it was in the trees. Not right then, but it was using the trees and the snow. And that might be part of the reason there's so many branches broken off. I don't know. I'm just wondering. I know for a fact that one did. It was a juvenile, but it used them. Maybe they send them out during the snow because they're the only ones light enough to be able to do what they did. I'm just guessing, but could be. Really, really good game trail. I say that a lot, and that's just how I am. I say it because I don't know what else to say. That's interesting. Anyway, this is kind of a cool area. Maybe I find some tracks. No such luck. That tree right there has been ripped down. If we can see how high up. It was green when it was ripped. I can't even see where it was taken. That even makes it more weird. This is dead. Anyway, it's starting to get thicker again. But I'm not going to go back in here. I was planning on going back down that cliff, but maybe there's an alternate way. A little bit thicker, so I'll look for a minute. It's a pretty good game trail. Sometimes I wonder, that's a cool old tree. Sometimes I wonder if they don't. It's probably an owl's nest in there. And sometimes I wonder if they use the stick markers as directional, or see, those look like deer. You know, directional or something similar. I mean, I see them all the time. Look, there's another tree. Look. Some of that could be natural for sure, but I don't know that that is. I don't know, maybe it is. Or maybe it's a marker, directional marker. I'll find out eventually. Walking across this flat, and look at that. Oh, I can hear something. Those are different types of woods or trees. Sagebrush, pinyon, and juniper. Huh. I can hear something over there. It's not running away. Anyway, this is pretty cool. You don't see that. I actually don't see them on the ground like that hardly ever. Listen. You hear that? That's a sound I've never heard before. It's not a bird. It's not a squirrel. That's a crow. But that other one isn't. As soon as that crow started squawking, it stopped. Huh. These areas are cool. I mean, there's little caves. You know, and if they were able to move heavier rocks to cover up their caves, this would be a good spot. There aren't very many people that venture up in here, if any. I mean, look, there's a tree stuffed down in that entry. And a stick. You see that? Okay, that's kind of weird. That could be open all the way back in there. Huh. See? Look at all the little pieces in that tree over there. It just doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of sign around here though, which means they could have a cave. I'm thinking there might have been an old mine. Look at these tailings, and there's an old can. I don't know. There's another can right there. I don't see an opening. I don't know. It's just strange. Huh. Look at this. I mean, what is it? I mean, it's in an area where I usually don't find anything. But I saw this one from a distance. I mean, it's just strange. I mean, you can tell how old it is. It's been quite a while since this thing was made. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys this because I thought it was some wire right there too that's basically for nothing. Anyway, just wanted to show you. I thought this is what really seems weird to me, is how this is set up. It's not a wall or anything, it's just a weird pile of sticks. First I thought maybe somebody was trying to build a small corral or something, but this is no corral. Strange. I don't even know what to think about it. Okay. I came up here, and now I haven't touched anything. I mean, that could be natural, but I doubt it. This is what I've set up. These are round chunks of wood on top of a stump. Well, it's not a stump, it's a piece of log. Anyway, I'm gonna put this here, and I'm just gonna see. I'm setting this out just to see if we get anything on it. This is down below from where I usually go, so we'll just have to look and see. Anyway, that'll be interesting to see what this little project does. I also thought this was weird. Look at that. Look at that track. I mean, what makes that? There's no limb that can reach that. And that's just weird to me. Huh. This is a good picture of that bone that was tore off. I've never seen a bone that looks like this. It's basically looks like something grabbed it and tore it off the animal, because fighting wouldn't do that. They would break off the end of the tines. And even then, it's rare that a lot of that gets taken off. But to be ripped off during the time when they're the hardest, that'd be like ripping cement or ripping your leg off. Okay, here's the update on my elk that I finished. I had to build 2 of those tines all the way up, but it turned out to be really nice. I mean, that's a nice elk right there. I still haven't scored it, but anyway, I know a lot of you guys could care less, but that's the old one I found, or the smaller one. That's the beast. Anyway, I was gonna talk a little bit about some issues that I've been thinking about that might need to be brought up or talked about, at least to clear up some of the myths that maybe I have or others do. All right. I wanted to talk about a few things before I publish this next video. I wanted to talk about some of the areas I've been in and what's happened in them. I know I've done videos in a lot of different areas. I know some of them were there was a lot more activity in some of them than others. But I do think that this swath at about 7,500 feet to about 8,000 feet, maybe give or take 1,000 one way or the other, is what they do. But what's strange is this last structure on this video was nowhere near that. And but it's different too. It's more of one of the structures you see a lot more. I think some of the structures that I see up in that swath area are more. It's almost like, I would say, artistic, if that's what they are, but not really, just more of a, either a map, maybe a topo map, maybe directional, maybe um, regarding food, where they can go, you know, what's available, whether it's game, whether it's berries, whether it's, you know, whatever. I know in the caves, I've been talking a lot about the caves and the mining, and I think these caves, I'm going to try to use this thing because I don't want you guys thinking I don't want to be screaming the whole time. So, let's see if this works. So, anyway, in these last couple of videos, I went up into the mine area, and I really found a lot of those mines are on the GP or on the USGA site. You can find most of the mines on there. However, there's a lot older mines out here that have nothing. And I know they've drilled some air lines and some deep, I'm sure deep holes back into the side of the mountain. Whether they used carts, rails, whatever, I don't know. I do know though that they would use these if they were big enough. And also, there's an underground aquifer that runs along this range, and it's huge. It's just huge. California's trying to get rights to use it because it's so big. However, because there was a lot of lava, because there was a lot of quartz, things like that, I'm sure there's a lot of caves. I've actually found one that I'm going to have to go look into. It's one I can see from the road driving up to my cabin. However, it must be huge because I can see it from the road, meaning it's clear up there. But I'm gonna go up in and look into it. I know there's others in some of the areas I've gone in. There's small caves here and there, but for the most part, that's where I think they stay. Not like we do, but more of a safe haven for them. I know they go out and scavenge for food or hunt food or whatever they need. I think in these areas, though, if they had a cave system where they could have multiple entryways, it would make their life so much easier. They could travel within the cave system. You know, and I'd love to find one, but I wouldn't be going in alone. I can tell you that right now. You're walking into Pandora's box. And I believe that there are multiple cave systems in this area. There would have to be in order for there to be that big of an aquifer. So I'm going to continue doing that. I've talked to a few people about the gifting area. I'm going to change it a little bit. I'm going to move it closer to my cabin so I can go there and pour it up more often. I think it would make it a lot easier. I don't know how good it'll be. It's a test run. I'll have to see. If worst comes to worst, I'll just go back to that initial place where there was a lot of activity and go there. Hopefully, since it's on the border of the 7,500 feet, it'll be productive. We'll see. I don't want to do one at my cabin because you know, with my kids and stuff like that running around. I don't want them to be in danger of anything. Even they probably wouldn't be, but you know, it's just safer this way. Um, and you guys have all had some great ideas. I've been going over. I mean, I'd love to do all of them. I mean, it would be awesome. But what I would like to do is I would love to be able to um, communicate in some way um, without being screamed at or chattered at or whatever else. I'd like to communicate, whether it be silent messaging this way or, you know, some way that they can understand that I'm no threat, even though I carry a gun. I think I'm gonna focus my treks and my finding into an area where those tracks were. I have trail cams up there. I haven't got to them because of the snow and everything. I haven't been there for 3 weeks. The other one I can't find, which this is the second one that's just come up missing. So, and I know it wasn't a person because I would have seen their tracks. It's really strange. But anyway, in that area, it's a weird area. It's really thick, and there's a lot of just boulders that are out in the middle of nowhere. They're just huge boulders like houses sitting here and there. And I do think if a Sasquatch was frequenting a cave, I would think that they would cover it, whether with a big rock, whether with, you know, branches, or maybe they use one that's already kind of hidden. I don't know, but I want to find out. Some of the areas I've been to are really neat. The problem is they're so far off that I can't go to them as much as I'd like. So I'm going to maintain my focus in these areas and try to communicate and try to figure out what's really going on as far as, you know, where they move, what they do, what if they follow the game, where the game go. I know for a fact the game don't move very much in this mountain range. They pretty much stay at the same level. Even during the summer, they may move up a little bit, but I've gone up and looked, and it's so thick in there, in those pinyon, that they just don't need to. I get trail cam footage of them all year round. So I do think I'm going to do some trail cams in some unique ways, trying to catch a glimpse of these things. I'm going to make an owl box is what I was thinking of doing, and then just put pine all the way around it, so the only thing that's sticking out or open would be the hole where the owl would go in. I'm just going to put a camera right there, and I can put it on any kind of a tree that way, and then I could put some branches over the top of it. I'm just thinking out loud, but I think something like that might be good. I use this GPS system, and it's pretty good. It's that Onyx hunting GPS thing, and it's pretty good, but again, you don't have anything live. You can go out and you can mark where you've been on their system, and it works pretty good, but I'm just not that familiar with it yet. So I'm trying to GPS every single one of these areas. Maybe get some kind of a pattern. If it's a cave, mark it as a cave. If it's a structure, mark it a type of structure. If it's, you know, tracks, type of tracks and where they were. You know, anything. Even finding old, old settlements that are way up in the mountains hid. I want to mark those as well. I think the areas that I have here that I'm going to try to figure out a little bit more are areas I could go to. I could go there and camp overnight, not necessarily with a fire, but go out, set up a camp, stay overnight. That way, if I get too spooked, I can just run home, run back to the cabin, hope they don't follow me. I know a night trek would just be awesome. I'm just trying to muster the courage to do it. And I would take somebody with me most likely, because to do it alone would be more than I have in me. For somebody to go out and do that in a known area where they have seen, heard, and know there's Sasquatch in the area, man, those people are dragging the ground. That's just, you are all man if you're doing that. Anyway, I think as far as food goes, with the way the elk move up there, I just don't know that they need a whole lot. I know there's a lot of mountain lions that compete with them for the deer. However, mountain lions, they don't usually go after elk unless they're young, the young ones, because the big ones are just too big, especially the bulls. But the deer, they'll take anything, buck, doe, young ones, whatever they want. But there's a lot of game, so the whole mountain lion thing doesn't scare me much at all. I've never had a real spooky encounter with them, so I think that I got this night vision camera. It's not a camera, it's just a scope, but I could attach my phone to it so that I could film, and it's pretty good. I mean, you can see at night, which is great, but it's not thermal. I'd love to have a thermal imaging camera, and you can get them online for pretty inexpensive, for pretty cheap. But I want to try this out first to see, and then before I go and stay overnight, I'm for sure going to try to get a thermal imaging camera, because I think it would be awesome. The other thing too I want to do is I've got this, it's that camera that I filmed. I've only taken it out once or twice, but I want to attach it to my back. The thing is, let me show you. I bought this tactical vest that I'm going to use instead of my backpack for the most part. I can put my gun, I can put water, I can put, whatever I'm going to take to the gifting area, or trail cams. If I need too much, if I need more than that, I'll just get my pack and take it. Because with the trail cams and things, I'll have to take the pack. But I think that'll be really helpful. That way I don't have to worry about my gun being on my side. It's right here. I can just take it out if I need to. And hopefully I'll never need to. I hope to never be stalked. I mean, I worry more about being stalked by a mountain lion than them, but you never know. It's just one of those things. So this is what I'm going to be trying to do for the next few months anyway. I'm going to put some trail cams also at my cabin and see what happens there. I don't know that I really want to see anything there, but I know they've been there, so it might be a good place to put one or two. And not to mention the fact that a trail cam is perfect insurance for, you know, keeping your place break-in free for the most part. There was a neighbor up there that got broke in. He was down, well, he was probably 15 miles away, but his neighbor actually was the one that broke in. His neighbor meaning probably 5 miles away, but he had a trail cam facing a trail cam. So the guy came in and stole the trail cam that he had up, but what he didn't know is another trail cam was filming that trail cam, and so it caught him on there. And anyway, it ended up being he handled it a lot better than I would have. They would have been chitty if he would have taken that and I had it on film. That's just unacceptable. But anyway, that's my goal. I'm still going to try to put out a video a week with updates on what we're doing, what's been happening, that kind of thing. Trail cams, the gifting area, whatever's going on, mines, caves. That's my goal. I did do the update on the horns, so I hope you were able to see that. I might try to. I also wanted to thank a lot of you guys. I mean, the truth is, there's times where I just don't have the desire to go and hike. When the elk have their horns, like right now, the elk are dropping their horns, which is it's a fun time to go out and mess around and see if you can find a horn or two. But for the most part, when it's cold and windy, it's hard to get motivated to go. But because of my keeping my word of going out and at least trying to get a video a week, it keeps me going, and I'm always satisfied after I go out. Sometimes I don't find a thing, so I'll have to go out more than once. But for the most part, now that I keep it within that area, and especially with this gifting area, I'll be able to do that a lot easier and a lot more often. So hopefully the turnout's going to be, positive, and it ends up being, good. So I wanted to thank you guys because you motivate me to get out, even when I don't want to. Because there's times I'll go to my cabin and I don't even want to finish doing what I'm doing on the cabin, and I'll get it done, and then then I have no desire to go out and do anything because I'm burned out. But I just wanted to thank you. There's so many of you that I want to thank, but I don't want to leave anybody out. So anyway, I appreciate it. Thanks.